Good morning, everybody, and welcome into the My Creative Time 135th edition release, Sneak Peeks. Today is the first day of Sneak Peeks, and we're headed up to a Saturday release. We're doing things a little bit differently this month. There were some production issues that slowed us down just a wee bit. And so we're taking an extra day just to give everybody time to create projects. And it's very late at night, actually, on Monday right now. It's actually Tuesday morning, about midnight, as I film this. But I wanted to get this up for you guys first thing in the morning. And so I am sharing the first day's sneak peeks along with Emma. And I think a lot of the designers are going to be posting also. Some will do videos, but a lot will just do posts to Instagram. And of course, you can also look at the blog, okay? So always so much inspiration. So the first thing I want to show you, of course, is the paper pad. And this is the Christmas release, of course. And the paper pad name is Christmas Gingers. And it is such a wonderful combination of gingerbread papers along with some plaids, some polka dots, and some gingham. And the other thing that you'll notice is that it is a 6x8 paper pad size. So we've gone to a bigger size paper pad, which is just wonderful. This will allow you to cut envelopes more easily and other larger die sets for making boxes and stuff like that. So I'm very excited about having this larger paper size. So let me go ahead and I'll show you the papers. This first one is an adorable ginger paper. It has hot cocos, and the ginger has a little hat on, a nightcap, if you will, slippers, and a little book that says, "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." And it's just so cute. I just love the little ginger houses and how cute the little cocos are with the cookies, marshmallows, and candy cane. So that's the first page. On the back of that page is this beautiful pink and ginger colored gingham pattern or plaid pattern. So just a wonderful staple. Then you go back to gingers again. This one has more of a wood grain appearance, and the little ginger is holding a heart or a chocolate chip cookie, and of course the hot cocoa. You have snowflakes, hearts, and marshmallows, and it says cookie exchange as well as gingerbread cookies. So just a wonderful, wonderful pattern. I love that. Oh my goodness. Then on the back page of that is another ginger print in gingham, and this one is the ginger color plus red and white. So a beautiful pattern. Then we move into this beautiful ginger pattern with green. These gingers are a little bit bigger. There's some heart cookies in between, and then this little white icing pattern. And the gingers almost look like they're kind of dancing and having fun. And I love the little sprinkles on the frosting of the ginger's head. Isn't that cute? Oh my goodness, just adorable. So that's the next page. And then when we go to the back of that one, we have the green polka dot pattern. Then we have the gingerbread cookies page with the blue hot cocoa cups. And then that same cookie exchange and gingerbread cookies background with the snowflakes and hearts. You turn that page and you go to the blue polka dot, which matches perfectly with the front of the paper. And it's a really fun way to make a card because you can use cut a card front from the blue pattern on the front and still have enough for a card front with the polka on the back. So then we go to this pattern here, and you have the little gingers dressed in their nightcaps in red and green. You have the hot cocos again, and then you have little snowflakes falling down as well as little stars. So just adorable. And on the back of that one is a brown gingham. And then the next gingerbread page is this one, and this one is Santa's Helper, December 25th. It also says fa la 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 and be merry. There's little peppermints in there if you can see them, as well as the Christmas trees, and the gingers are dressed as Santa's elves carrying a candy cane or a hot cocoa. So just adorable. Oh my goodness. Then on the back of that is a lighter ginger colored gingham. And then we go back to the pink and the reds and the greens and blues again. So it starts over and it repeats 4 times. So just a beautiful paper pad. Here's the information, Christmas Gingers 2023, and it's a 6 by 8.5 inch paper pad, 24 sheets for each of all 6 designs. Okay, so just a beautiful, beautiful paper pad. I'm so happy about that. And then let me jump into the 2 die sets that we're showcasing today. MCT D474 is the Christmas Charms dies. And there's a cute little ginger, an adorable angel, a Christmas tree, hot cocoa mugs or coffee mugs that face both directions, a little rolling pin, a snowflake, the word joy, which you know that's my favorite one, and then there's a little spatula as well as a spoon charm. And these look so good cut out of foil cardstock, just any type of cardstock you want. You can use one of your little peachy keen faces if you want to stamp a face on the ginger. You can cut off the loops at the top if you want to use them just as small icons. And I did that quite a bit in the projects that I'm going to show you. Okay, and then the other die set we're showcasing is My Creative Time 475 Christmas Greens. And I use these in a bunch of different ways. I love these 2 dies here that you can cut these out in red or white to make berries. And I love this branch. It cuts out and then you can put some frosting, whether you want to use stickles and white pen to make white berries or whatever you want to use. But, you know, you can color the berries by cutting them in a color and cut this out in green, or you can add ink to these to change the color to them if you cut it out in white and then color the greenery and the berries. So just beautiful, beautiful dies. This one has room for the berries to go on it also. And just lots of fun to use these in just many different ways. And they're also great to fill the mason jars that we were released last month. So those are the products we're showcasing, the paper and these 2 die sets. And let me dive into the projects. And let me add that I also use this Gingerbread Kisses paper pad. This was released last Christmas. And you can see I have a bunch of scraps in my packet here. But I also use some papers from this paper pad. This is one of my very favorite paper pads of all time. And I believe this will be back in stock on Friday or on Saturday when the release goes live. But I've also been playing around with making a few gingers. And for my ginger faces, I am using my PK 3000 Peachy Keen stamp set as I start showing you projects. So let me show you how I first use the greens. So I took the wonderful mason jar from last month, one of them, and I created the mason jar along with the little handle. And then I die cut all the greens, and I put the greens into the bottle, if you will, into the jar. And I added white gel pen as well as some stickles and glitter to the greens to make it look like they're frosted with snow. And then I cut a little, and I left it up so you can kind of see. I haven't glued it all the way down yet. I cut the edge of the handle so I could slide on the Joy charm, okay? And then what you would do after you slide it on there is you can glue it down, okay? So I didn't glue it all the way because I wanted to show you how I got it on there. So I just cut a little slit right by the edge of the handle, and then I slid the charm on, and then you glue it into place. So the charm is kind of dangling, and these would be so cute cut out of foil paper, foil cardstock, if you want to make them look metallic. But I went ahead and just covered mine with white gel pen and glitter, just to make it stand out like it was also frosted along with the greenery. I used the My Creative Time oval scallop die and oval stitch die, which I just love these 2 dies together. This one always reminds me of frosting around the edges with that beautiful stitching. And I used those. And then these papers are from the beautiful paper pad. You can see that wonderful ginger red plaid. I love that paper. So pretty. And I just think it sets off the greens really nicely. So that's the front of the card. Inside, I inked an oval die cut again, and I inked it up to make it look like it was baked, sort of. And then I stamped Wishing You a Joyful Christmas, which is from last year's Christmas Sentiments set. And I use a lot of the Christmas sentiments that are in Emma's shop from various stamp sets during this release. And then I just added a little banner using that gingham paper again, and I added the gingham to the back of the card also. So I love how this card turned out, and it's so fun to die cut all the greenery and then fill a mason jar with it. So that just turned out so beautiful. And then I wanted to take an opportunity to also use the greens to make a wreath. And so this is using papers from last year's Gingerbread Kisses paper pad, as well as just some lace from the Dollar Tree. And then I used the Pretty Scallop Circle die, and I cut it out of a lightweight chipboard, and which, if you want to know, is really a Triscuit box, because you know me, I love to reuse packaging. So I cut out the inside of the Triscuit box using the Scallop Circle die, and then I edged it with some Distress ink, some brown Distress ink. I think it was darker than tea dye. I think it was the Vintage Photo. So I used the Vintage Photo just to distress the edges. And I also distressed the bow, and I really put Vintage Photo on the tag and everything. But I just used the greenery dyes. I started, just for how I made the wreath, is I made a circle. I cut out a ton of these, and I made a circle out of this first, and then I layered a circle of these on top and a couple extras of these. And that's how I did it. So I did 2 circles essentially, and then a couple extras over the top of the 2 circles. Then I added 3 little heart punch outs. And Emma has lots of mini heart dies that will cut out hearts for you. So I just added 3 little hearts. I did From Our Home to Yours using one of her stamp sets from last Christmas. And then I added one of her sweet bows from her bow die set. And that's how I created the wreath. I love how this turned out, and just the homespun feel of it. And then inside, I cut off the charm top to the joy die, and I added the word joy on top of just a little piece of the green gingham. And then I used her XOXO border dies on the inside of the card. And so I love how this turned out. It's just a very simple, both of these are very kind of homespun cards, which is one of my favorite styles. So those are those cards. And then I got the first thing I'm going to show you. I wasn't going to show you this card, but I'm going to go ahead and show it to you. So I wanted to play with each one of the charms. So I die cut the charms out of a bunch of different, a bunch of white cardstock. And then I took some Copic markers, and I was just playing around with coloring them. And I took this tree die, this stem die, if you will, and originally I was going to turn it this way and just hang a few charms from it. And I think that would be really, really cute. And then I got the idea to also try making a Christmas tree with it. So I had colored it with a green Copic, and then I just hung the different charms, all of them, so that you could just see them. So this is a really simple card, and I just think it's kind of quaint and cute. And I used the green polka and the red pattern paper from the paper pad, and just a piece of red cardstock. And I just think this turned out so cute. And then I used the red paper on the inside to make a banner, and just one of Emma's rectangle stitching dies to layer the inside of the card. So that just gives you a peek at all of the charms cut out. And then here's the 2 cards that I actually made using the charms. And this one I used the gingerbread charm. I cut the top of the charm off each of the gingerbreads that I cut out. I stamped a Peachy Keen face from my PK 3000 Jill's Favorite Faces stamp set on each one of them. And then I used white gel pen to put the frosting and the buttons and everything on the little gingers. And it's really easy to do. And then I wanted to show you, I haven't done all their arms yet, but if you can see, there's an embossed little piece where the frosting goes on their arms. And this is what it looks like when you color it. Okay. So you just take your gel pen and run it along these little lines, and that gives you the frosted look Okay, so I'll finish doing it on these, but I just wanted to see that's what I'm actually coloring, is these little indentations that Emma put into the die, which was so clever. And then the indentation along the frosting is also very clear, and you just use your white gel pen to create the frosting. And then this is from the bowl die set. And this little spatula, and I just colored it with some Copic marker, some white gel pen for the frosting, and these two little lines. And I added that on. I used the oval die cuts once again, and I added 3 little hearts and the Sentiment Home Baked Sweetness. And then again, this green and the red papers are from the new paper pad. And I just think this turned out so, so cute. Isn't it adorable? I love the little bowl die, and I just added 2 scallop layers to the bowl, and the bowl is actually popped up, and there's 3 different layers to it. And you just pop the gingers inside and glue them in place. So just a really sweet card, and I love how this turns out. This is the little spoon charm. I cut the top off, and then I colored it with Copic marker and added the white gel pen. The inside is very simple. There's a heart and a little green banner piece, and again, just Emma's rectangle stitching dies. So that's this card. And then the last card I have to share with you is fairly simple. This one I used her Pretty Scallop rectangle layer die. I used this bigger spatula from the spoon sets, or from the bowl sets. So this spatula comes out with, I think, the largest bowl, and I'm pretty sure. And then I used her cookie sheet dies, which I forgot to bring in too, but I used the medium-sized cookie sheet die, and each one of these is one of the charms cut out in white. I used tea dye ink to just very lightly make them look like they're sugar cookies. And then I used a little bit of white gel pen just to highlight them as if they've been frosted. And you can see the white gel pen under the angel here in the center of the snowflake. It's the top of the coffee or the marshmallow layer on the mug there, on the frosting of the ginger. So that white gel pen just adds a little frosting. And then I used both my diamond stickles as well as this Twinklet's diamond dust. Okay, and that's what is along the outside of the cookie sheet, just to make it look all sugared up like that. All You Need Is Love and Cookies is from one of Emma's Christmas sets from last year. And I just think this turns out so sweet with this beautiful ginger colored gingham from the brand new paper pad. So that, I haven't done the inside of this card. I haven't quite finished it because this is still drying, and I hate to mess up. I always let my glitter glue dry before I try to do anything further. But I wanted to be able to show you this card tonight. This was the last card that I made, and I stayed up extra late to do one more card. So I actually showcased 5 cards, although really 4, because I wasn't going to show you this one. This one's just kind of for fun. But anyway, those are the first 2 die sets for the 135th edition release for My Creative Time. The release is going to be on Saturday. There'll be a code for 15% off your purchase. I believe the code is July 2023, and you'll get 15% off your purchase. So I hope you'll follow along this week as everybody does their sneak peeks. Be sure to check out Melissa at Mo Creations, Christina's Shabby Pink House, MJ Carol, Melissa, both on Instagram and YouTube. Suzanne is a Creative Muse, and of course Emma at My Creative Time, who is the mastermind behind all of these wonderful products every month. She works so hard for us. Oh my goodness, I was chatting with her today, you guys, and she works so hard. So God bless you, Emma. Thank you for bringing us another beautiful Christmas release. Please don't miss a single day. There's so much fun stuff coming. I'm so excited for this release. I wish I could tell you everything that's headed out, but you have to be revealed one day at a time. It makes it more fun. So we'll see you tomorrow for another day of Sneaky Peeks with My Creative Time. Thank you guys so much for watching my video, for your likes, for your subscriptions, and for your beautiful comments. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye now.